Courage calls to courage everywhere, and its voice cannot be denied. That suffragist mantra rings just as true now as it did when it was first uttered more than a century ago, because be in no doubt, those wishing to silence that voice are more energized, more organized, more enfranchised than they have been in a very long time. So as Trump and Musk and Farage and their followers seek to profit from the currency of fear and hate, we too must show courage. We must be united and determined in exposing those morally bankrupt millionaires and billionaires who know the price of everything and the value of nothing. Trump believes in Trump. Musk believes in Musk. Farage believes in Farage. Beware these men whose only real ideology is their ego. But if we can show courage to speak up for the vulnerable, to call out discrimination, to challenge injustice and seek prosperity through equality and fairness, we can make sure that our voice is heard. Now, drawing on the experience in Scotland and learning from its transformational benefits, I can announce today that a Plaid Cymru government will begin the process of implementing a child payment in Wales, a weekly direct benefit to support those who need it most. After 14 years of austerity under the Tories and 26 years of ambivalence under Labour, this would be a new government rooted in the values of fairness and social justice. The cynnal payment, as it'll be known, will do exactly that. It'll sustain families and support communities. Those in receipt will feel less anxious about making ends meet, becoming more productive in the long run. Children go on to be healthier and more economically active, and the money will be reinvested in local economies where people buy the bulk of their essential goods and services. Conference, doing nothing is not an option. So a century may have passed since Plaid Cymru came into being, but not a day goes by without the realization that each and every one of us stands on the shoulders of those giants. Mark Twain once said that history doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes, and it certainly does. There are many constants, aren't there, to be found in the challenges our party has tried to address, has sought to overcome since its inception 100 years ago. Poverty, lack of opportunity, economic stagnation, continuous injustices at the hands of Westminster, whether the government is red or blue. But Plaid Cymru has been consistent in its conviction, resolute in its resolve to say that this is not as good as it gets for Wales. I, like so many of you, grew up in the shadow of the Cold War, and the international chill that's returned in recent months is something that worries us all greatly. We've drawn strength from standing together internationally, but seeing a new president tearing up the Paris Climate Agreement, withdrawing from the World Health Organization, threatening the Palestinian people with ethnic cleansing, siding with the Russian aggressor, these things go against the grain of all I and we stand for. Curtailing trans rights, banning the use of federal funding for abortion, and continuing an assault on women's rights, attacking diversity and equality as bad things. And many Americans I know are as worried as I am, of course. But whilst it's so easy to feel despondent, to despair at how a change of leadership can set back an entire society, set back the world, let's remember the actions of Bishop Marian Edgar Buddy, her courage and defiance to look a president in the eye and speak the truth, whatever the consequences, should inspire us all.